This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
What's up, everybody?
What's up?
It's another episode of the NFC East Show, episode 73.
We are getting up there.
Week one in the books, and we might as well start off with the big elephant in the room. Your team did not do very well in fantasy football there, True Blue.
True. Keyword here, waiver wire. Just start going crazy.
Nah. Like I said before, I can't preoccupy myself with that stuff.
I get it.
But you have to start making moves, though. I mean, just to be fair, I mean, and it's all fun. It's free. It's just this is what it's all about with fantasy football. We get to give each other some back and forth.
Exactly.
But did we watch any football this week? I mean, any game that stood out to you, like a missed field goal, away?
Well, there was
the
too
Giants.
many of those.
Well, I know. Yeah, well, I'm talking about
there were missed field goals all over the place.
But you guys know what I'm talking
about. Colts and the Texans, in terms of that. But
I know we're really talking about that. I'm talking about the Giants.
We can't. All right, let's stop. The biggest game. Sunday Night Football, I mean, because we could talk about how we won, but realistically, what is the word about Dak? Because I don't know if I should listen to Jerry. It's like I heard 6 to 8 weeks, but I heard Jerry now say 4.
So, okay, before you answer that, True, because I know you would know more than the two of us. I got a text message. Okay, the prognosis was 6 to 8 weeks, right? And then I got a text message from a Cowboys fan, and it said that the moment Dak got hurt, ticket sales dropped 34%. They went from 38% to 6%. The cheapest tickets was $36 for this week's game. Okay. Now, my speculation, allegedly, Jerry saw this and freaked out. And then he said, oh, no, Dak will be back 4 to 8. Because he saw the fact of how quickly those ticket sales dropped. Again, speculation. I have nothing to back that up. Allegedly.
Because ultimately, here's the question with that, realistically, is how does anybody know within a day?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, we do know he had successful surgery. He was doing well after the surgery. High hopes. But Jerry Jones is not a doctor. He is not a doctor. But True, go ahead. I digress.
I'm saying he's going to be out until at least week 6, 5 to 6 weeks out with the type of surgery that proceeded to follow up with him. And I think with the rehab and everything that the Cowboys facility has, I think that's pushing it, but that's what they're reaching for.
Now, do you think that's fair to Dak? Because if he comes back too soon, and I mean, a lot is on the line. Let's be honest. This is McCarthy's year, probably his final year. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is what, year 3?
Yeah.
Out of the 3 years that he has been the head coach for the Dallas Cowboys, Dak has been injured for 2 of those 3 years. He only had a healthy Dak last year. And even he missed the game last year.
Yep.
Now, so let me approach you with it this question this way. With McCarthy having the issues that he's having with Dak, right? And it's nothing that's coachable. Injuries are far from being coachable. Is this going to affect his job? Like, let's say they're not successful. I'm not saying this because I'm a Debbie Downer.
I'll go down the road of 50-50 chance, but the inevitable thing is that, yes, it will come down. It will be looked at upon his job, whether it's quarterback play or not. But as many fans keep speculating about, Dak Prescott, and like the question you just put forward, is that fair to him? $42 million is a lot of money for him not to be ready if he's ready, from the fans' perspective. As far as my perspective, I think he needs as much time as he should get to get healthy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't want him rushing through the scenario of not being healthy and then re-injuring the hand, just by trying to grip a ball. But that's neither here or there with me. I have no say-so. Jerry has no say-so. Right. The ultimate person that has a say-so is Dak. But, yeah, I think week 6 as football there at Sunday Night Football in Philly is what I think they're going to be trying to push for.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if that's the best because beyond everything else, what I did notice was that your offensive line was struggling.
No. Offensive line was struggling with, I had Steele with 3 penalties on one drive in less than 3 minutes. But I'm going to tell you this. Ezekiel Elliott was averaging 5.2 yards a rush. He got limited to 10 rushes. He got 52 yards off of 10 rushes. We just stopped running the ball yet again with Kellen Moore as offensive coordinator. He put Tony Pollard in there to split the reps. Tony Pollard wasn't getting anywhere. It was, again, stopping the run, and that's what Tampa Bay did, and we just totally ignored it and went away from it. And I think when you have to put the ball in Dak's hands the way that they are with throwing as many passes there, it's inevitable that, you're going to have a crappy day, and that's what happened to him. I don't think he was ready. And let me put one elevated further than that. What have I been saying this whole time, too, about preseason? Nobody played preseason.
Yeah, these are preseason games. I on that these first 4 weeks are preseason games.
Yeah, but, and see, that's the difference between a GOAT such as Tom Brady, who missed 11 days of camp. But what did he do week 3 of preseason? He came in and threw the ball around just to get a feel for it.
Yeah, but even he looked a little rusty.
Well, it doesn't matter. He stepped in there to take some snaps in preseason.
Right.
That's what – and Stephen Jones was actually calling out Mike McCarthy on Monday, saying exactly what I've been saying, that he had the decision to sit the guys or play the guys, and he chose to sat the guys. So regardless if you sit them and you get them injured, here you are, week 1, injured player.
Well, I think and I don't know who ultimately made this decision, but not having a feasible backup. I mean, you would think, especially the teams in the NFC East, seeing what happened to us last year, having freaking Mike Glennon and a practice squad, Jake Fromm, no disrespect to Jake Fromm, and how dismal the remaining season. We did not win a game. We did not. we barely scored points with Daniel Jones. And my concern with the Cowboys, and I'm just throwing this out there, is that you guys couldn't even score with Dak.
No.
And you're right. You're right. You guys were throwing the ball a lot. And I think the fact that, and you guys weren't even down that much. You were down 13-3, and you guys were still continuing throwing the ball. However, from what I saw, Zeke wasn't really doing too much from what I saw. And I watched the whole game. I didn't see him. I mean, you said he had an average of 5 yards per carry.
Yeah, 5.2 yards a carry with 10 rushes only.
I mean, you're right, because it was 10 and he had 52. Yards. He did have 52 yards. I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, but so what did he have? One run for 20 yards though?
No. He was averaging that. He was averaging 5 yards a carry. I mean, he had one
right.
that broke out for 8 or 9, just one of those. But again, we stopped the rush.
Let's see. Zeke, it doesn't say what his longest run was 7 yards.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The only person that had the longest run was Dak, and that was for 12 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and again, we stopped running the ball.
Yeah, Pollard only had 6 carries too.
Yeah,
8
and
yards.
that's what I'm saying. He split the runs. Yeah. The offensive coordinator is going to have some decisions to make, but ultimately the head coach is going to have some decisions to make, because when Tampa Bay players came out and said exactly what the Cowboys were going to do, it's the same scenario that's been going on since 2016, since Kellen Moore's been with the organization itself. It's the same scenario, regardless of Linehan, whatever. But Kellen Moore's been there, and it's been the same scenario. Either Mike McCarthy's going to have to do something, grab that playbook away, instruct him on how to make calls, but it's going to be one.
I don't think Jerry Jones will let him do that, though. I don't think, and I don't even really. To be fair, if we're going to talk about both sides of the ball, Fournette ran you guys down.
Oh yeah,
you could. I mean, he had over 127 yards. 21 rushes. He scored big on my fantasy football team. He had a 17-yard long run, although he didn't get any touchdowns, which I think is kind of, running that much and not scoring any touchdowns.
Exactly. And see, that's where the defense stood up. And I'll take, keeping the team to 19 points, but we've got to score ourselves.
Yeah.
And again, it was frustrating seeing the play calling that was going on yet again from a offensive coordinator who's been doing the same thing for the past 5 years.
Well, my question is, why is the defensive coordinator okay? Is he typically in the booth, or is he on the sidelines?
Quinn has been up in the booth since he's been there, and I was actually speaking about that today, about having an assistant up there while being on the sideline.
Okay.
Just to have to be up front with your players, to get in their ears, to get in their face, to make them understand. I think they have an understanding, so they might have something worked out. But as far as them, having the ability to, understand what's going, the plays being called from up there, I guess it's working for them.
Yeah, from what I could tell.
I would say that what is your prognosis for this week's game coming up?
So the interesting thing, so when Dak got hurt, he actually, as a veteran quarterback, kind of messed up there and immediately came out, didn't give Cooper any time to warm up, to get situated. I mean, he literally just came off the sideline and got in there.
That's when I started watching the game. Like, he got that second hit and he was like, ooh. Yeah, I don't think he could grip the ball at all.
He couldn't.
Somebody should have been in his ear to stay on the field to give him time. I mean, you're already getting an injury timeout.
Should have called timeout. Just should have called timeout.
Well, exactly.
Or go to the ground. He should have went to the ground. That's probably
exactly. That's situational awareness. You got to know where you're at all times. And again, that's something the head coach should know. You got to understand, but at the same time, but either way, going towards your question, Cooper Rush, I think, is going to have a better game because he's actually going to be practicing with the ones. He's going to be, at the starting position from the very get-go. I mean, he's had one start last year with Minnesota, and he did very well. 325 yards passing, not so much on the stats of attempts, completions per attempts, 24 out of 40. But he's got a whole week to have practice with the ones, and I think that's going to lead up to a better game for him and the Dallas Cowboys.
And they beat Atlanta, right?
What's
the
that?
Saints? The Saints? No, yeah, the Saints played Atlanta.
Yes,
this weekend,
Yes.
And then they won, so they're 1-0 as well. Okay,
Correct.
How confident are you in Cooper Rush?
I'm a lot more confident again, seeing that he's behind the ones in practice because he's going to have time to get up to speed. But I am more comfortable with him being there. And we got Will Greer, who's going to be there as well as a backup. And if things don't go well, I'm pretty sure he's going to get into the mix of things. But I think Cooper Rush is going to do well enough to beat Cincinnati.
Pork Iron, what he's saying, he's more confident in Cooper Rush than I was in Mike Glennon. So yeah. That's
what you're saying is that you did pick him up off of the waiver wire and started him on your fantasy team.
I picked him up on the waiver wire?
Yes, that's what I'm asking.
I have no idea, but
yes,
I'll take that as a no. You should.
So
you
you should, because you don't want to start Dak this week.
Yeah, you don't want to start.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, you definitely have to go to the waiver wire, pick up Cooper Rush, and start him.
Or Matt Stafford. I think Stafford's still available. I think there's some credible quarterbacks out there. That's
and Gallup.
I don't believe Michael Gallup's going to be back until at least week 4. If he's going to be back anytime soon, it'll probably be no less than week 4.
Yeah, I think you guys are going to be in a little bit of a tough way. I think that the Bengals are going to be hot to trot here, and they knocked a lot. Well, you would think that they knocked a lot of rust off. I mean, 4 interceptions is a lot of interceptions to throw. But.
Yeah, but he came back from that, and they almost won that game. I mean, that's what I look at the resilience.
Game.
Huh? Well, they should have. Yeah. I mean, that blocked field goal, Mr. Automatic, and then that gave me 3 more points.
Hey, hold on, but it's not his fault if it was blocked.
No, you're right. You're right.
And the other one wasn't his fault either. The laces were in.
They were in.
But wasn't there a touchdown that could have been?
Yeah.
Chase. Yeah.
Had he not thrown the flag?
Yeah. And it's one of those, because I looked at a Twitter picture and, there was a comment on there, if you think this is a touchdown. And I looked at it and I'm like, I could see where it's a 50-50 call. It's one of those calls where if it was a touchdown, it would have been hard to reverse it as it was not a touchdown, although it wasn't even challenged. I would have at least challenged it,
Yeah, I would have as well. I saw it in real time. I said it was a touchdown. It was just incompetence again from the referee crew.
Yeah. There's a lot of that.
So, my question is that they have a challenge to do it.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah, and not only that,
then you definitely do the challenge there.
Yeah, you have to.
I didn't see the play. I'll be honest. I only really watched one game, a little piece of the Dallas game, and I know that they missed a field goal or whatever. They missed the field goal in the Sneaky game because I watched Sneaky pacing back and forth.
I had no fingernails left. That's why I was about to get on the toenails. I was about to start getting on the toenails. Yeah. Oh, it would have happened. That had been on Twitter, TikTok as well.
But So, and then I watched a list of the Seattle game, which I also knew Seattle was going to win.
I don't even understand that.
I do. That there was no way that he was going to go in there without any emotion. That there's going to be tons of emotion.
Yeah.
And because of that, you're not going to play good. And the fact that he came back a little early for this game, that he was still injured, he couldn't really throw the ball. There was so many reasons why they shouldn't have won that game, and they didn't. And plus, I think Denver's overrated anyways, but that's beside the point. We're not talking about the AFC West. We're talking about the NFC East. And I want to talk to the guy who never talks. They won. They beat Doug Peterson.
Yeah, they did. They did.
And they almost blew it.
Yeah, they almost did blow it. It was funny. We were talking during the tailgate about, it'd be nice to have one of those games where you can just sit back and relax and enjoy a victory and not have it come down to like the last play of the game or whatever. And it looked like it was heading in that direction. We're up 14-3. We got the ball back. We were driving on the way to score the third touchdown, and Curtis Samuel fumbles the ball. And then from there, it was just like the whole offense was non-existent. And kudos to the Jacksonville Jaguars defense, because they did, make some adjustments and they played pretty good. And the first interception that went through, I mean, I think it was two.
So there was more than one?
There was two.
Yeah, there were two.
Yeah, he threw back-to-back drives. So the first one he threw, it was horrible. I mean, he stared down the receiver, and the cornerback jumped it and intercepted it. The second one, I will say, what's his name? Is it Tavon Walker from the rookie from Georgia, I think, for Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
I know his last name is Walker. That guy is a stud. He was like disguising himself behind one of the offensive line and like just launched himself as soon as Wentz threw the ball and intercepted the second one. But I will say this, any other time we would have just like folded and we would have gave up. But Carson Wentz, went on the sideline. Rivera gave him a look and he said, I got this. And sure enough, threw two touchdowns back to back and, pulled out the W. So
who caught the interception? It was Tyson Campbell. That might have been the first one. And then Tavon Walker for the second one. Yeah.
Yeah. The second one, that was a great play by Walker. I mean, he literally just jumped out of, nowhere and snagged it.
You guys could put the ball in the air 41 times.
He did.
40. Okay, he threw 4 touchdowns, 313 yards, 2 picks.
Yep.
But you guys only ran it 20, 24, 27 times. I'm sorry. 20, it looks like 28 times total.
Yeah. Gibson had 14 carries. Samuel had 4. Carson ran it 6 times.
Yeah.
So
how many times did he kneel down?
Yeah, that does count as a run. So
it does count. Yeah, it does count.
What
twice. So yeah.
What was your opinion about the weather having an effect? Wasn't it raining up there?
So all right. No, it did rain when we were driving.
Not like it did in Chicago, I guess.
No, definitely didn't do that. No, it stopped raining probably around, I'd say 10:30. And then at game time, there was no rain. It was an overcast game. And then I think fourth quarter, the sun came out. But no, I don't think the weather had any factor to it, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure because the way they showed the
when we got there, when we were driving in, it was pouring. I was like, "This is amazing."
the way that how the media hypes things up, and they were showing all the rain, so I figured it was raining during the game.
Nah, not during the
game. It wasn't Chicago. That's the indication that I was getting from all the networks.
Nah, thank goodness too, and that's the reason why I didn't do the whole face paint and stuff like that. It's not the paint; it was washed right out of my beard. So
right.
And all over his New Jersey.
No, I didn't wear a jersey. It's too hot for jerseys in September.
Do you wear jerseys for the game?
I do typically, but not the first week or two because it's just too damn humid.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You don't have air conditioning up there for the games.
No, we're outdoors.
No, there's no air conditioning.
Not yet.
And who do you guys have next week?
We've got Detroit this week. We got Detroit.
Oh, yeah, Detroit. You feel, Detroit is favored for the first time.
1.5
in like 2 years. It was like 2 something, I think it is. That's what they were talking about.
2.5.
Yeah, they're favored.
Is that due to Carson Wentz, or is that due to the play of the Lions?
They scored 35 points on us.
Yeah, look, I think Carson Wentz played good. Besides 2 throws, I think he played good.
Well, you said one was mainly his. The other one, the guy made a play on.
One was definitely his. The Walker interception, he made a hell of a play. So, but no, I mean, I'm excited. I think the offensive play calling, I'm not gonna lie, like in the years past, it's normally a 3 and out. It's a given. And we actually went down there. This was the first time since 1991 that we actually scored a touchdown on our opening drive, first game.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Since 1991?
1991.
Wow.
To open the season.
31 years.
Yep.
No. For a home game, maybe. The reason why I say that is because a few years back, we opened up the season with you guys, and you guys crushed us in the first half. And you guys scored on like your first 4 drives and made it 28-0 or 28-7.
I don't remember that.
Oh, I do.
That's when Haskins was QB, right? Haskins was quarterback.
Yeah, I remember.
And then Philly came back
and won that game.
No,
Yeah, that was probably an away game.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It was in Philadelphia.
Yeah,
But we opened up the season.
It was. I'll have to go back and look because
now you got some homework, Pork Ryan.
I know clearly because the info I got must have been bad then.
Well, like I said, it could have been for your first home drive. I mean, I don't know, for your first home opener in 1991. I mean, that would make sense.
Maybe.
But like I said, I remember that because McLaurin, I was that day where McLaurin. I realized who he was and took him in my fantasy team there right the next day.
Yeah, but you guys came back. You guys came back and won that game.
We won that game.
Yeah, that was when Casey Keenum was our starting quarterback.
That was when I first started doing Philly sports guy stuff, and I had this guy. He was a Washington fan, and it was his birthday. And I felt so bad for that guy when I watched the video of how I treated him. Like I just, it was fun. It was fun, but I'm like, oh, we're coming. Yeah, like shaking his hand, like rubbing his head and all. Yeah, it was fun.
So I was doing a charity event at the bullpen in DC with Tailgate Ted, and Chris was at that game, and he was there with his dad, and he was talking so much trash in the first half. I'm like, Chris, shut up. There's and sure enough, they came back and beat us. I'm like, come on, man.
You can't trust them Dolphins fans.
Don't talk trash until the end of the game.
Yep, not until the game's over.
So,
Chris. I know you're watching.
I'm thinking of the one when Haskins, the late Haskins, played.
That was the year. He was a rookie, but Keenum started.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
I did see the aftermath of that tailgate, the photos that were put out from Miami.
Oh, I would have been mad.
So what? They left all the grills out of there?
Somebody left a grill next to a vehicle unattended to go inside the game.
Yeah.
And it caught vehicles on fire.
Oh my God.
Well, caught one on fire and then the others
chain react. Yeah. So yeah, there were some cars out there that people came out to that weren't there anymore.
Can you imagine?
Well, they were there. Out? They were just a little crispy.
They were like
they weren't drivable.
They were like, beep, beep. Oh, that's
Can you imagine walking out, your team lost, and then your car's on fire?
Yeah.
I mean, talk about a bad day.
Well, that would have been a Patriots fan. So
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that would have been definitely a bad day.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been so upset about that for a Patriots fan. I'd have been like, no. So
speaking of
I tell you what, before we do this, since we've got real quick, hold on, let's get Ryan, your prognosis against Detroit.
Oh man, I mean, they played you guys pretty good, so I guess we're gonna see what kind of Commanders team we have. If because we did play Jacksonville, so I don't, I'm not saying playoffs or Super Bowl or anything like that. But I mean, I'm excited, but optimistic in a way.
Are you saying you're not an atypical Cowboys fan?
Not at all. I don't reminisce on the 1991 Super Bowl that we won. So,
Mark Rubin.
Right. So, are you winning or losing?
I'm gonna go with winning. I think it's gonna be a close game. But yeah, I think we win this one. I think we see Philadelphia. I think we're both gonna be 2-0 going into week 3.
That'll be interesting.
It will
be to see us come in there.
Yeah.
Hopefully both 2-0. That would be fun. That'd be fun. So real quick, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be back to talk about the Birds, because nobody wants to care.
And the G-Man.
Nobody cares.
We're going to talk about the Giants. Oh, we'll talk about the Giants.
Why? You think I'm going to be able to keep sneaky quiet? No way am I going to be able to do
the whole second half.
We'll be back right after these quick messages. Right now, without LeBron, Lakers are struggling.
Let me tell you about a team I hate, all right? I know the Dallas Cowboy fan is here, so I had to make sure he knew how much I hate this team.
I'm ready. I've often said that the people who run baseball, they try very hard to ruin it.
I'm from Brooklyn. I don't have a problem saying it to his face. Oh, I'm from Brooklyn. Hey, get any...
And we're back. Hold on. See, I'm playing with music and all this stuff. I get to do all these neat things here. So, all right. Let's hear it, Sneaky. You talk about a win for first time in a really long time. All
2016. Excited. Oh, my God. What a weekend. Okay, so first off, I mean, I'm like you, Pork Ryan. I would love to go into a game. You know, by the third quarter, it's over. Put in the bench warmers. Yeah, that's not. By the third quarter, we're finally scoring points. We were down 13-0 at halftime. Came back. Long story short, he should be called the Bulls because Homeboy had some big balls to go for 2 on our last scoring drive rather than kicking it and tying it. And we got the 2-point conversion. We're up 21-20, and they missed the field goal. And all of the Giants family was celebrating. I mean, we're still on cloud nine. Although
rejoicing in Mudville.
well, we were so. I mean, it was. I realized. Let me back up. I mean, of course, you want your team to win. And I knew we were going to beat Philly, not Philly. That's going to be future. I knew we were going to beat Tennessee. and I knew it was going to be close. I mean, I think I said on our week last week it was going to be 27-7 or 28-24, some mess like that. And it was a nail biter to the final minute. And I'm going to be honest, Beckham. Geez, I'm messing up so much right now. Barkley I'm still on cloud 9, and I'm trying to focus on Carolina now. Barkley's back, total of 100, almost 200 yards, 194 yards.
He looked good.
I mean, the man was, on 18 carries, he had 164 yards. His longest run was 68 yards. Daniel Jones, he threw, he was 17 of 21 for 188 yards. I'll take every little bit of that, 2 touchdowns, and the one ill-advised interception. We held now on the defensive side of the ball, and I'll kind of bounce back and forth, but on the defensive side of the ball, which we knew we had to stop King Henry. And the man did not get to 100 yards. He got up to 82 yards on 21 carries. And I'm going to tell you, in my opinion, what changed the complexity of the game was that hit that Crowder had on the King himself. It knocked him into next week. And I think that's what you would call like a dunk in the NBA. It got a lot of the players hyped.
A dunk or a push?
More so a dunk. If you had a dunk, it was. He came out. Let's be honest. Crowder came out of nowhere, and knocked him down, and that was a big play. Now, back to the offensive side of the ball, I really like the fact that Dable lit a fire under Jones's ass when he threw that interception. Now, early in the game, Jones did get he did have a fumble, which I don't blame it on him because it was a rush. The line didn't give him the proper protection. But the interception, 100% his fault. 100% his fault. And Barkley did get lucky with a fumble late in the game that ended up going out of bounds. But when Jones threw that interception, Dable got on him and was questioning his decisions, rightfully so. And Jones, accepted accountability, says he needs to do better. And I think one of the biggest headlines was that Tony did not play much. I think only had like a couple plays. Sterling Shepard got a touchdown. Just a hard-nosed fault win, and I'm looking forward to this week coming up on Sunday against Carolina.
Didn't I read today that he got Player of the Week?
Yes, Saquon Barkley got Player of the Week. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
So what's the status? Player. What's the status on your defensive end?
On Thibodeau?
Yeah,
he's probably day to day. I think they're just being protective of him. I think the linebackers, Cilantro and like I said, Crowder, I think they did extremely well this weekend. I think we got to Tannehill one time. We got one sack when they got us like 4 times. But overall,
Thibodeau didn't play at all.
No, Thibodeau or Ozies. They were out for Sunday's game. And I think, with the addition of them, our defense is just going to be more of that potent. So, I want them to come back. I'm kind of like the situation that True is in. I don't want to rush them. I want to make sure that they're healthy. Because 17 games, it's a long season. It's a long season, and I do not. We got momentum. That locker room was just going crazy. Dable was even twerking a little bit in the locker room. And you can shake your head, but it was priceless. I got to tell you, I don't know if you guys saw my latest TikTok where I showed all the Giant fans celebrating. This win meant a lot to us. The first time in like I said, 6 years that we are undefeated. We are undefeated. And, regardless of what happens next week, of course, I want my guys to win this weekend coming up. At least we had that moment that, I want a lot more. Don't get me wrong. But at least we could have just be like, we had that moment to celebrate, kind of like the Seattle game a couple years back, But he did something that Shermer and Judge couldn't do, and that's win week 1. So I love what Shane's doing, and I love what Dable's doing, and hats off to John Mara for being patient, hiring the GM, and giving the GM the reins to hire the head coach, and let's just keep this thing rolling.
Well, and who do you play this week?
Carolina.
So you
at home
go 1-4
at home,
right?
At home.
No,
I don't. I'm comfortable, but I'd be lying to you if I say I'm not worried. Okay, I'll just say that.
There we go. All right. I wanted to see how confident you were. It's like
I'm not confident. Like I said, I'm comfortable. I'm like I like where we're at.
I'm with you.
But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried. So.
Okay, listen. This is the first time in a long time that we've had 3 of the 4 teams win. Of course, Dallas had to screw it up where we couldn't all win in the.
They didn't even score a touchdown. They didn't even get a touchdown this week. They were the only team out of the 32 teams that did not get a touchdown. So, True. Let me straight up. Let me ask you something.
No.
No, I just want to ask him one question. I just want to ask him just one question.
Didn't one team get 9 points?
Yeah, but they scored a touchdown. They missed the extra point.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay.
the look on Philly's face was like, damn. If damn had a look, that's what he had, right? That's
the Jets. I mean, let's go. It's a New York team. It's the Jets.
Yeah. So True. And you're one of the true fans, okay? Because I hate it when I believe I'm a true fan. Everybody on this panel is a true fan, okay? The expectation.
I feel like I should cut him off because I haven't gotten to talk yet. But I'll let you ask your question.
Yeah. Okay. Real quick. What is your expectations now? Is it still Super Bowl or what is it now with the Cowboys?
Well, of course it has to be Super Bowl, but I've got to take the schedule and I've got to take the quarterback play at all game by game. And this game is like I said, this game is going to be more important than people realize, because it's going to set a tone for what Cooper's going to do for the next several games. And that includes if he wins, because if he wins and he wins again and he wins again.
No, he may win this one, but he's not going to win again. And then he may win after that.
I know we got you week 3. I know.
Yeah, that's what.
But I'm just saying, if he gets on a roll, what's going to be said about somebody who's getting paid 42 times as much as he is?
Oh yeah. Oh, you don't want that.
So that's just a sports talk I'm waiting to hear, and I'm actually talking about this right now, and you're probably going to hear this on other networks tomorrow, because it's going to be something that's going to be said. Of what I'm saying is that if Cooper Rush does well, and he does well for several games, what does that say about the quarterback that we have right now is going to be put into play, coming from the commentators, of course?
Yeah, that's a big if.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a big if.
But it's something that
I look at it the opposite way. Say Cooper Rush doesn't do very well, and it takes a full 8 weeks for Dak to get back. Something happens, he's not able to race back.
Yeah.
Do they start to possibly tank and get a quarterback?
I don't think they're going to possibly tank, but I think they're going to put more options on the board for players as far as the personnel is concerned. What I mean by that, give the practice squad guys some playing time, some rookies some time, some guys to deal with the issues. I think that's what it's going to be about. But I don't think
this year would be a reworking year where you strengthen your backups for next year.
Yeah, you have to. But I don't think that's a scenario we're going to go down. I think it's going to be.
Because we're talking about this. That's a question in week 8. After Dak hasn't been able to get back until that.
Yeah,
You know
and then
what I
after
mean?
that, the bye week. So,
Well, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Like, so it's possible that he's not back again until week 10.
very well could be.
And then by that time, we all know that Jerry Jones got Sean Payton on speed dial.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna throw that out there right now.
And I mean, yeah, you're hearing that all over the media. You're hearing everything, but again, that I'm not gonna. If me as head coach, I'm not gonna rely on one of my assistant coaches to determine my job, and that's basically what's going on right now.
Right.
Tom Brady to Dallas next year.
Oh God.
Can't wear number 12.
Yeah. Go ahead, Philly. Let's start with that. I don't want to hear about that mess. I don't want to hear about that mess.
So, for teams that actually did score points in the beginning, in the middle, and the end of a game, well, not really the end of a game, but we were able to kind of take care of it. I give the win only a B-, in the grand scheme of things. I think that the offense played really well. I like that Jalen Hurts didn't give up any turnovers, didn't throw the ball away. I actually was able to get out of a couple of sacks by just doing the whole let me get rid of this ball over there type of situation. Hey, that's all you got to do. You know what I mean? That's all you got to do, because if you saw the other day, Russell Wilson couldn't do that. He didn't throw it past the line of scrimmage. So a lot of things got to happen to be able to get away from those sacks. Ran for 90 yards, didn't throw a touchdown, but didn't need to, because we had 217 yards or 216 yards rushing to Detroit's 215 yards passing. That being said, our defense is I really Kellen Winslow and Gannon, they should have head coaching jobs and choose each other. Because Gannon can go. I am not happy with him whatsoever. First off, he switches between the 3-4 and the 4-3 defense, and I don't have a problem with that. It's like, all right, we're going to do it this, we're going to do it this, but he only ever rushes the line. So there are times when you have a 3-4, and then he'll blitz out of a 3-4 one guy. And then he'll do a 4-3, and he just sends the 4. Now, the 3 blitzes that he did, all 3 worked. First blitz was an interception. The second blitz was a sack. The third blitz was a tackle behind the line, and that's when he did a 5th guy. When he was only doing 4 or 3, they weren't getting enough pressure. And Goff actually looked pretty good in the grand scheme of things. The fact that he scored 35 points, Detroit's not that good. That being said, their defense is pretty good. And I'll be interested to see how they do against Carson Wentz, because I think that Carson likes to hold on to the ball for a minute, and he's not as mobile as Jalen Hurts is, and they were running after him. And we have a pretty good offensive line, and they were getting at him. So I'm interested to see how they do against Washington. That being said,
I will say Carson Wentz did not hold the ball very long. It got out of his hands pretty fast. Yeah.
That's good, because that's the only way, because that's his problem. That's his issue.
Yeah, Jones was staring down, especially that interception. That interception should have happened. That he tried to, throw to Barkley on the left side of the end zone.
And there's one thing that you guys or your teams had in common that my team didn't have, and that was the rushing attempts. You guys had, you said Barkley had 21 rushes?
Yeah, I think he had no, that was Henry.
Henry.
That was Henry. Henry had 21 rushes for 82
Yeah.
yards.
And, I mean,
Barkley
see,
had
that-
Barkley had 18. He had
Yeah.
18 for 164.
Yeah, and see, that's what I'm saying. And then what Philly's saying, and Pork Rind, how many rushing yards did your guys have and carries?
Not a lot.
No,
they not
threw
a lot.
They threw the ball. Yeah,
we threw the ball a lot more. We had 85.
Yeah, because I had one
like
of their guys, and he
28
didn't run very much.
Yeah.
Tell me how you really feel, Philly.
and see,
Yeah,
I mean,
Gibson.
Yeah,
we're a
points,
running
though.
team. We're a running
Yeah.
team, and then we're going to be holding, back our running backs and only giving them 10 rushing.
Well,
10
I tell you,
carries.
I'll be 100% honest. That's the reason why Detroit lost. They didn't run the ball more. Swift was killing us.
Yeah, 144 yards. No,
Yeah.
141 yards. I'm sorry. He had 141.
Yeah.
On what, like 10 carries? 15 carries, I think.
Zeke did not look effective. I'm going to be honest. I mean, granted, and the largest run was 7 yards. To me, that already, he was only getting 2 or 3 yards a pop. I mean, granted, his average was 5.2 yards, but
here's
he did not.
Here's the thing. Again, Tampa Bay, New York scheme. They called it out after the game. They knew exactly what was going to be happening. Vanilla offense. That's what happens.
Yeah.
That's what happens. And you stop the one thing that's working.
And that was the problem with us. We have a vanilla defense. That was kind of what I was getting at, is that Gannon cannot do this. I don't care what Cousins' record is on Monday Night Football. The fact that he's got the camera, he doesn't like the cameras in his face, and he doesn't like the spotlight on him, does not matter when you give these guys 6 seconds to throw a football.
Yep.
Eventually, but the receiver's going to get over
with his wide receiver core.
Yeah, well, and plus, you say he doesn't like the limelight, but he has a playoff win under his belt. So, there's something there.
He's got one playoff win, and they also had a really good defense when he got that win with Washington, right?
Yeah.
So let's be for real.
No.
Let's be for
What do you
real.
He got the win with.
He beat the Saints.
Yeah, he beat the.
Yeah, he beat the Saints with Minnesota, and it was in. I think it was in Minnesota. I think.
Hold on. You're talking about the digs. When
No. That was
he threw a touchdown. He threw a touchdown.
Yeah, that was Keenan. Yeah, that wasn't the following year. That's when they went to the playoffs. I remember that because the Saints got screwed 2 times in a row because it was offensive pass interference. That's the only reason why I remember that.
Was it? No.
Right. Well, the Ram won. The one that that one, that no call was, but this one, he legitimately pushed off and then back of the end zone.
So I gotta believe. I have to believe that. I wrote it down as one of my keys to the game, that they have to put pressure on Cousins, and they cannot do it with just 4 guys.
That's true. No,
they have to go. They have to blitz. They have to blitz. We cannot be the least blitzing team in the NFL again this year. We cannot. We're not getting enough pressure with our guys, the 3 or 4 guys. When they had max protect. Detroit had 3 offensive linemen out, so they had 6 and 7 guys on the line. So when you're going up 6 guys against 4, typically the 6 win. Yeah, this is the NFL.
So he really didn't blitz the linebackers? You're saying he mainly just had
3 blitzes. 3 blitzes.
Okay.
So go back to last year. So I did some research. I did my homework. Last year he did 18 blitzes. 18 blitzes, 6 sacks. Last year, no, they got 6 points. This year, 3 blitzes, 1 sack, 35 points. I don't know if you're seeing this. I don't get paid a lot of money to coach this team, but when I see things,
you get paid.
Like for instance, they did an onside kick. And I knew it was going to be an onside kick. If I know it's going to be an onside kick, you know what? I'm sure the Eagles knew.
Yeah, they should know. Yeah,
and they did know. They did know. You want to know why? You want to know who their special team guy is? DeFlippo. He was an Eagle.
Yeah. So
just kind of like Tampa, the way Tampa did it. You know what I mean? I know.
Yeah, and see that, and I'm happy with my defense. What we were able to keep Brady with Micah getting 2 sacks himself and keeping them just the field goals and that 1 touchdown. It's for what we did against Tom Brady in that first game defensively, I'm satisfied.
Yeah, but what you guys didn't do against Fournette, you shouldn't be. He ran you guys over, and I know you saw that.
Again, I'm not worried about that part because we limited them. We limited them in the touchdowns. We gave up the field goals. We gave up the yardage on the ground. Okay, I can live with that. When it came time to score, we held them to the field goals. That's I'm saying as far as the first game's considered, going through what they went through, I'm satisfied.
Yeah, going forward, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I guess
going forward, I'm not going to be happy with if that happens again. Don't get me wrong.
Because I mean, obviously, we talk about how this was a preseason game, kind of. I mean, it's a countable preseason game.
Yep.
They only scored 19 points, but they were driving all those times.
Yeah.
You know what I
mean? Well, Dallas did have the time of possession more so than the Bucks. I do want to get this out for us.
Worse. That makes it even worse.
Well, no, I'm saying that because they had more and then Tampa had less. That's true. I'll say for us, we're going to have another top name running back that we're going to have to contain this week, as CMC and Christian McCaffrey. We're going to have to slow him down, keep him in the tackles, and make sure he doesn't get in the slots.
And Baker's never lost in New York.
You're right. And we need to bring it to him, because when he was in the Browns, granted, we tried to do some stupid mess, fake field goal on the first drive when we could have been in first. Judge. That's why he's not even offensive coordinator in the Patriots right now.
What a difference a day makes.
We gotta. Yeah. Well, he lost me when he talked about his headset. I'm like, yeah, your time here is done. So
he lost me when he started crying about watching how the Washington football team at the time was.
Oh yeah, I didn't like that either.
Worry about your own team there, ugly.
Well, that's what got him fired.
Yeah.
He guys, you guys may not realize this, but he was like 30 seconds of still being our head coach this year. He was gonna, Mayor was gonna bring in a new GM and have a prove it year, but yeah, he was like, then he brought that stuff up and that 11-minute thing, yeah. Ooh, I'm glad it didn't. Oh, thank God.
There you go.
Because we got the first win. And it meant a lot to Dable. Congratulations, Giants. G-Fam, enjoy this one. Enjoy it.
Yeah, because
tomorrow on to Carolina. Tomorrow, after tonight,
still could be 1-4. So to finish off mine, I think that this is going to be a really close game with the Eagles. And if Gannon has the same type of game that he did against Detroit, then we'll lose. I have us winning a squeaker, like 23-21 or like 26-24, that type of game.
There you go.
It's going to be a tough one. So, yeah, sorry, buddy, Mr. We're going to beat the Eagles 38-7. No, that's how you guys get spanked around when the last time you guys were in Philly, if you remember, 38-7. Oh yeah, that's right. We went to your house afterwards and won a Super Bowl. Yeah, go Birds.
And y'all can even beat Rush. Y'all can even beat Cooper Rush. If I was in the Army, I'd tell him to go at ease. At ease.
Exactly.
And I'm telling you guys, Cooper Rush is going to have snaps with the ones this week. I think he's going to be a lot more confident starting the game, and I think we're going to beat Cincinnati.
Oh, good luck with that.
Yeah, I was going to say something. Yeah. I was trying to think of something to say too, something witty.
Don't need it.
And I'm like, yep, Santa's going to come by my house.
I would make sure that you definitely put Dak in the reserves and grab Cooper Rush for your quarterback.
And if you need help doing that, hit me up. I'll show you how to put people on waivers and get a replacement.
Yeah, because obviously the champ had the best team this week.
I don't even know how that you got 4 points more than I did. That's all that happened.
That's right. And it's still it don't matter.
And everybody's eligible for the playoffs, by the way. Everybody, the top 2 teams. I forgot to say this last week. The top 2 teams get a bye, and the bottom 4 they square it off. So everybody's eligible to playoffs.
There you go. So it doesn't matter. True, you're in the playoffs, which is
good enough for me.
That I can't say for the Cowboys.
There's only 6 teams. Of course, I'm going to have everybody in the book. Come on now.
There you go. Anyways, our hour is up.
That's
and this is the hard part when we get into football season. All year long, it's like we're squeezing to try to get into an hour. But now football season's here, and we're always going to go over an hour. So, everybody, thank you very much for hanging with us. We will be back again next Wednesday. Hopefully, we're going to hear that the Cowboys are 0-2. Those guys are 1-1.
We are undefeated.
Yep. 2-0 going into week 3 against Philly.
So
we will see.
Let's go, Giants.
We'll see.
Woo! Ow!
And everybody, have a great night. Go Birds.
Let's go, Giants. Oh.